Hey guys, so this reading is going to be a little bit different. Today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you who are into celebrating that. Whether you're single or in a partnership, I hope you're doing everything you can to, love yourself and take care of yourself today. I may do some kind of self-love meditation post or share some music that I found on YouTube or something that'll be specifically for people who are single or just focusing on taking care of themselves right now. This reading is going to be a little bit different than usual. It does coincide with a full moon. Technically, the full moon is 2 days from now, on the 16th. And tomorrow is Lupercalia. I don't know how they pronounce that, actually. I don't know what the Romans would have said, but a lot of people in the States seem to say Lupercalia. And of course, that has to do with the founding city story of Rome, Romulus and Remus, the wolf who gave them milk, because the Luper part of Lupercalia is lupine, like wolves. So we do have a bit of that going on. There's that more primordial element to this time of year, having to do with fertility and whatnot traditionally. But most people just kind of focus on romance this time of year these days. So I figured this would be a good time to do a general collective community love reading, I guess. I've never done this on a collective level before, so we'll see how this goes. I'm not doing a pick-a-pile, but I figured with full moon in Leo opposite sun in Aquarius, then we have Venus conjunct Mars in Capricorn, and some healing energy going on with Moon trine Chiron, and a whole bunch of stuff going on that just seemed like, okay, now's the right time to do a love reading, hoping that the best messages come through with some positivity. We're going to focus a little bit on some triggers and things that need to be healed as well. And as always, wrap it up with a Moonology couple of cards. But so it's weird. It's blending my lunar readings with how I do some of my love readings. I'm going to do kind of almost like 3-question, then some healing related stuff, and then wrap it up with a moon themed thing. This is going to be a little bit different than how I normally do it, where I'm looking at so the last reading I did was the Chinese New Year reading, where we were looking at the forecast for the year. And then most of my lunar readings look at the forecast between certain phases of the moon, or until the next scheduled reading at least. This is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to focus this on just pretty much the month of February. And maybe if this is going to be something that lingers for you specifically for a few months, see if that calls to you. I will leave a timestamp in the description as usual, or in the comments. Yeah, I kind of wanted to give a disclaimer about love readings, because love readings in particular, love and finance are and healthcare of any kind, are the areas where people sometimes, it's not that it's bad to turn to tarot for that, but tarot is reflective, spiritual, helping you find what areas are there challenges, what areas can you heal something, what are your options if I go this path, or this path. It's not necessarily good to treat it as gospel or anything like that. You're not supposed to if you had a wonderful time at your Valentine's Day date, don't watch this if something negative comes up, though I would putting in the intention that hopefully mostly positive messages come through, and be like, oh no, he was really thinking this, or she was really thinking this the whole time. Don't do that to yourself. Don't mess yourself up. If you had a really nice time and this reading looks a bit negative, it probably isn't for you. On the flip side, if it's mostly positive and you feel like your relationship is kind of toxic, check in with yourself on that and do what's right for you. Most people, I think, are probably, if you're in a relationship, you're probably in a relationship where there's a lot of good things and there's a handful, if not a lot, of challenging things. and it's about trying to strike a balance and treat each other right, and it's not anything too, you know, serious. If that isn't the case for you, tarot is not where you turn to for answers. It's maybe where you turn to for spiritual orientation on how to heal further, but it's definitely not the only thing that you turn to. Definitely focus on, you know, what your own intuition is telling you, and get professional help of any kind if you need it. And walk away from anything that isn't healthy for you. With that being said, for most people, let's just focus on what the community reading is. I'm not doing a pick-a-pile. So this may or may not resonate for you, or maybe certain pieces of it do and certain pieces of it don't. Basically what we're going to be tapping into is the moon energy and the Venus-Mars energy going on right now. I did a bit of a transit analysis on Discord about the astrology of all of this. Let's see what the cards have to say about it. We're going to start out with what your person, and you can just like pause the video for a couple of seconds and focus on the person you have in mind. Oh, we opened up to Strength Leo. Full moon in Leo. And just think, what thoughts might they be having? What are the thoughts around maybe both of you, yourself and this person, but maybe your person in specific if that's what you're wanting to focus on. Just think of your question in regards to thoughts, right? And I'm probably, for the purpose of making this simple, going to be wording this as your person thinking this, just because I think most people are probably going to be interested in that. But, you know, change it in your mind to whatever fits to your question, right? Whatever grammatically and syntax-wise fits to your question, and just focus on what themes are coming up. With that being said, Spirit, let's get some information on the thoughts going on in the collective community energy for this community. I feel like that one wants to come out. That's funny. I don't usually get that card coming out. What thoughts are going on? Okay, yeah. For people right now at this time. Yeah, okay. We're gonna move these a little bit. How do I put this delicately? Basically, and this makes a lot of sense with Venus conjunct Mars and it being that time of year. In this case, sometimes the people think like, oh, the devil is always bad. In this case, with the moon and this particular moon in this card, for reasons that I'm sure you're aware by looking at the card, and the Seven of Cups is sometimes about choices, but in this case, I'm seeing it as being kind of about fantasy. People's thoughts are on fantasies of a fun, physical nature. And then what's the back of the deck? The Three of Cups. Okay, some people maybe are having, and this is a collective energy, right? So that might not resonate for everybody. If you're in a committed relationship, I will turn that over. What's under that? Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so we've just definitely got lots of stuff of that nature. If Three of Cups energy of that particular kind doesn't resonate for you, you know, let it resonate for a lot of themes. Can work for that. So maybe you're just wanting to spend platonic time with friends because you're a single person and you don't want to focus too much on the romance. You just want to have a nice night out with the girls or dudes and watch a movie or something. Maybe you're just, you know, focusing on you in some way. Three of Cups. The number 3 is about the Empress in the major arcana. So that's fertility, sensuality. It's also nurturing though. Motherhood to some degree. So 3s can be about family, it can be about friends, you know, the Trinity. 3 Cups is emotional, and that's and it's about joy and frolicking, right? So as the background energy, back of the deck energy for all of this, I would say that the collective community energy is very much about looking for joy and fun. Basically just joy and fun is what's on people's minds right now. And maybe some people, because, okay, another message comes up. The devil can also be about fears. And then we've got 2 dolphins in this cup right here, underlying this. So 3 flowers, but 2 dolphins. And I'm thinking what this might mean is, some people are a little worried, maybe, this time of year, if for whatever reason you weren't able to spend quality time with your partner, either due to ongoing travel restrictions or maybe because work is starting to speed up for some people after a couple of years, and maybe they're having to work on Valentine's Day. You're like, oh, who are they really with? We're gonna pull some more cards in the actions and see what's going on. But my bet would be that it's just a fear. You know, this person is shackled, and then the devil talks about temptations, deceptions, and fears to some extent as well. It can also just be, you know, about physical gratification, which isn't necessarily a bad thing with these other 2 cards. But with the 3 of Cups and the Page of Cups here, what I'm seeing is that for those of you who resonate with this positively, you can discard this. For those of you who resonate with this in like a way that's, oh, that's exactly what I'm afraid is happening. They're out there screwing a whole bunch of people, pardon my French. No, probably not. Because we've got these 2 dolphins here who are like a pair. And, you know, it's in the color of the heart chakra. It's pink. So I'm going to suggest that it's actually not what you're thinking. And there's like 2 globes here, so like 2 moons. They're like shoulder plates, but I'm seeing them like intuitively, almost like moons here. It's almost like 2 hearts, right? Because the moon is symbolic of the heart. And I think it's saying you don't have to worry about that. You know, there's 1 pair of hearts, there's 1 pair of dolphins in that, and your person is probably faithful to you. At the very least, don't let fears get to you and make it become a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Where somebody ends up cheating just because they were scared that the other person won't. Don't let fears get to you. Let's see what feelings are going on. So we've got these as thoughts. Some people are having positive thoughts of just, ooh, I just want to have fun. And some people are like, well, how much fun is this person wanting to have exactly? And Page of Cups is saying, no, they're loyal. So whoever is worried, don't worry about the loyalty of whoever you're concerned about. Without proof, obviously, right? So let's see what's going on with emotions. What is going on with emotions for this general collective? Oh, isn't that lovely? I love that we're getting mostly positive cards here. What emotions does your person or your situation have going on? I feel like I wanted to come out. The 2 of Cups. What emotions are coming through for this reading? 3 of Scepters. Okay, so somebody's looking forward to something. 3 of Scepters is usually, there's like a ship coming in. Some of you, I'm seeing that, yeah. So, because I was seeing that the feet in particular were shackled, usually the devil card will show like a couple's shackled, but in this one it shows the devil's feet shackled, and it's almost like, or Baphomet type imagery, shackled, and then like a waning moon. So something feeling like, oh, something's being taken from me, or it's dwindling because something feels restricted. Maybe because the devil's ruled by Capricorn, and Saturn in Capricorn somewhat rules time. I'm thinking some people feel like they're not getting a lot of time with their loved ones, and that's what's creating this concern for some people. Like, oh, they're not spending as much time with me. They must be spending time with other people instead of maybe recuperating their health, or focusing on work, or whatever it is that they're focusing on that isn't what you think it is. And then with the 3 of Scepters here, it's like, and then we've got like that devil type. Well, it's like, it's the Aries symbol right there, but I'm seeing it intuitively again as like another pair of horns. And it's almost like she's not even looking at this ship coming in the background. Normally the 3 of Scepters shows somebody looking out on the horizon and seeing the ship coming in, but instead she's looking at this staff right here that has these horns. So she's thinking about what she's missing out on, and she's thinking about, okay, well, where is this person? And there's like a sun either rising or setting on the horizon over here, matched by the orb, just kind of like how that there were 2 matching orbs here. There's like 2 matching orbs here on the horizon and on the ship itself, and it's like, have patience. It does suck to have to wait, But I think if you can, something positive is coming in. Just don't, you know, if you're not seeing that this beautiful ship is coming in, maybe refocus what it is you're looking at. What are you focusing on? Because before we get to that, we have this, the Lovers and the Two of Cups, which is, I mean, pure love. Whatever person you're focusing on, or your own feelings, if you're battling with this and this within yourself, choose love, you know, for the time being, until you have proof of otherwise, right? Obviously, if you're dealing with experiences that contradict that in a very big, huge way, you know, do what's right and safe for you. But so far, what I'm seeing is very positive, loving energy coming through here. And then for the back of the deck, we have the Magician. So yeah, somebody's looking forward to something. I'm seeing like and you might not be, if you're one of several people who could be viewing right now, you might not be in a heterosexual partnership. You might not be in any partnership at all. It might be a bit different for you, but just take it as it resonates. Somebody might be playing more of a masculine role or a feminine role in this relationship. It doesn't have to be a physical man and a woman. For most of you, it's probably going to be a physical man and a woman, one couple. I'm seeing that this is the person who would be like guiding the ship, right? Taking that initiative, trying to manifest something, but it's happening in the background, right? He's like, that's a window in the background. He's like in a closeted space doing all of this, maybe trying to surprise you with something nice. And maybe it's just taking more time than you anticipated. Try to have patience, because that ship is coming in, and whoever this Magician person is the one bringing it in. Four of Skulls. Yeah, somebody's wanting to, like, you've got like this girl in the background and this like knight standing in front of her like, hey buddy, back off. Yeah, so we've got somebody who's maybe concerned that somebody else is showing interest, or just somebody trying to protect the relationship by doing something meaningful for you. Try to just keep perspective and don't get caught up in negative thinking. I'm actually going to put this up here because I have more space up here. Again, that's just the Magician in the background. And then what, if not actions, at least physical, material circumstances. Ooh, whoa. These are a bit smaller. What physical circumstances, material things going on, and some actions are surrounding the connections of people who would be watching this reading right now that wanted to come out. Gloomy thoughts. What am I saying? That's what I was talking about. Gloomy thoughts. Okay. Right, so this guy's looking out on the cliff and he doesn't see anything but a lot of ocean and the lighthouse, and there's like these seals down here trying to talk to him like, yo, calm down, the ship's coming. You know, like right. So definitely gloomy thoughts, as I was saying, were going on here. What else is going on in the material condition? Okay, that wanted to come out. Short illness. Okay, yeah, somebody's trying to get better from illness. Everybody is. We still got the coof going around. And then we've got living room. That's interesting. I might ask for a clarifier for that. What else is going on in the material conditions? A long way. Okay, maybe that wanted to come out too. Good lady. Okay. And the back says receiving a gift. Aw. And then Christmassy trees. And then like a lot of eye. Okay, that's interesting. There's like a lot of eyes in the background in this one. That is so odd. Maybe there's like a weird, like this is a couple months later, but there is a Christmas tree here. Maybe somebody's like upset because they've been waiting for a Christmas gift to come in or to arrive to somewhere and it got caught. Like if you're in an international situation or there was some kind of mail thing going on, you weren't able to give. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. I just watching for something to arrive or watching because you can't give it right for the time being for some reason. Somebody, and this could just be representative of what's going on right now, not going that far back, but maybe somebody's, this is going to be very specific and not for everybody, but maybe somebody's still waiting for a Christmas gift they wanted to send to get there, or one that was supposed to arrive and you guys were talking and like, hey, why hasn't this arrived yet? And it's like, well, because the mail is having issues, or I can't send it in the mail because it's too valuable, or something like that. And yeah, I almost feel like with the eyes, it's like, yeah, it's too valuable, it would get stolen, or something like that, or it could get damaged, or somebody like constantly looking at like a mail status update and be like, oh, it still hasn't changed yet, oh, they still haven't found it. Like, I'm seeing probably some advice would be to try to calm down about it, get out of the gloomy thoughts and just focus on the good things, because probably the most important gift you're going to be receiving is the fact that your person loves you. So try to focus on the positive. So we've got good lady, and again, maybe your person's a man, but it's just saying that your person is a good person. We've got living room and a long way. Yeah, that's jiving with the Three of Scepters and the gloomy thoughts. I think somebody's feeling like, and this living room is like empty, there aren't people in it, just a cat looking around, and like a dragon on the floor. Two dragons facing each other on the floor. So it's almost like maybe two people feeling a bit angry, and because there's like, or maybe like frustrated in some way, defensive, because there's this empty living room and it's been a long way, right? This guy's like coming, almost like the hermit kind of thing, coming up to see his friend, the falcon over here, and almost worried like, how long is this going to take? And again, the ship is coming. So the actions here right now are feeling impatient, waiting, knowing that the person that you're concerned about is a good person. Maybe somebody was recovering from some kind of illness, and gloomy thoughts. So I think that pretty much just expresses what's going on here, that the feelings and thoughts are, the thoughts might be a bit naughty, but the feelings and intentions are pure, and they're coming towards you. You don't need to worry. All of this worrying is going to make you sick, maybe. And right, so let's just move on to another part of the reading now. I think that pretty much says everything that needs to be seen there. We're going to look at the, oh my goodness gracious, come on. Open up. This is actually going good so far, I think, because this is probably going to resonate for a lot of people, I think. So we're going to look at the triggers deck. Caution, this might be triggering. And just to see what challenges are being experienced right now on either side of the connection going on in the community. What kind of general theme are different couples, different people going through right now? When I'm not confident with who I am, I will act in superficial ways. Yeah. And when I feel insecure, I put on a false mask to hide who I really am. Okay, and what's on the back of the deck? When I failed to set boundaries with others, I became angry with myself for days. I can act resentful and distance myself from people for months without addressing the issue. I don't know if months is correct. Maybe that's something that's been healed for somebody, or that's a bit of an exaggeration. But I do think that there might be a bit of a, you know, a lot of people do this. A lot of couples will do this for somebody. If they're upset, might give the silent treatment. It's not a good thing, but it's a thing a lot of people do. It's a cultural phenomenon for sure. It's something that people need to work on healing. It can be difficult because sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between, oh, am I withdrawing because I need to have some space so that I don't get into a nasty argument, I need to calm myself, or am I withdrawing to punish somebody? And you really need to check in with yourself to be honest with yourself and know the difference and act from a place of authenticity. So for some people who think that they're doing it for like, oh, I just need to take care of myself, this deck is saying maybe sometimes you are, maybe sometimes you're doing it to be a bit petty. That's not a calling out in a nasty way to anybody. I think a lot of people, maybe myself included, sometimes fall into that trap without even thinking about it hard because you're feeling emotional in the moment, right? So that's just something that maybe with this Venus-Mars energy going on is being healed right now as we're balancing that masculine and feminine energy inside of all of us. When I'm not confident with who I am, I'll act in superficial ways, right? Like you might pretend, oh, I don't care or something, and you do. You're just, you know, a little bit worried because, you know, you're seeing that something's taking a long time, or you're seeing signs that make you a little bit nervous, and maybe it's not what you think it is. When I feel insecure, I put on a false mask. I feel like those two things are kind of reiterating each other a bit, just like pretending to feel or have like certain traits that you don't really like. Oh, I'm a cool-headed person who just doesn't give a darn. It's like, maybe you do give a darn, and it's okay to be vulnerable with somebody who cares about you if they really do care about you. When I fail to set boundaries with others, I become angry with myself for days. Now, this can be a man, but I feel like this is something on a cultural level that tends to, I mean, it's everybody needs to work on their boundaries, but it's something that more femininely aligned people in particular, which is often women, tend to struggle with the most, just because of how women and men are reared a bit differently in society. But certainly, you know, a very giving, generous, kind-hearted man might have that kind of problem as well. I'm going to say, I feel like this energy and this energy, and most people might be mimicking a bit of each of those behaviors in each other and like ping-ponging it back and forth a little bit, because people tend to do that in a relationship. But I feel like this energy is one person and this energy is another person. And in a lot of people's relationships, and those two things kind of trigger the other response, right? Somebody starts acting in a aloof or disingenuous way, and the other person starts to feel like they start overextending themselves, they start feeling upset, or they start to be like, okay, well, you started withdrawing, so I'm going to withdraw too. And it starts to get kind of petty when it shouldn't be. And I think that's what's going to be, that's the trigger, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that's your whole story or that's everything that's going on for you. Maybe that doesn't resonate for you at all. But if it does, you know, cool. Let's get some more challenges, and then we're going to look at how, with this nifty little heart deck, you would go about healing some of these triggers if that does resonate with you. So let's see what other challenges are coming up for this particular community, this collective of energy of people in their relationships watching this. Lightning. Yeah, stabbed in the back. And that's coming out under the devil here. Heartbroken. Mask again. Okay. So we start out with, and I feel like maybe the back of the deck is saying mask for this whole thing, because maybe some people are hiding their real selves because they've been hurt in the past, right? Because this ship is also in the past and behind her back, so it could be like a past relationship, and now she's focusing on her fears. But I also see that for some people it's a ship coming in with the Magician on the back of the deck with that spread. So don't worry so much. I'm thinking that this is like a past energy. Somebody's been stabbed in the back before. It made them heartbroken. This is like a little girl. So it might not have happened to you when you were a little girl. You might not be a little, it might not be a girl, but I'm definitely seeing this as like a past energy because this person is younger. You were deceived, stabbed in the back, hurt in some way. And then it does say feeling lost, grieving, mourning. So somebody might be stuck in a bit of a grieving cycle, not knowing how to trust, so they wear a false mask. Right. Acts. Some people, this is a collective reading, so some of you may have been stabbed in the back and had a breakup recently. And my condolences if that's the case. Try to focus on loving yourself. For most people, I don't see that that's what happened. Recently, I see this more as a past energy because there's like a little girl here. And you're healing from this. And the lightning says, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. So that can be, at this time, the shocking news was bad news, but I'm seeing this because it's coming out right on top of living room and like in the same column as Seven of Cups, living room, good lady, and the Two of Grails. That the shocking realization might have been this epiphany that, oh, maybe I can start to let go of these fears because I'm actually with a good person for a change, or I'm starting to kindle something with a good person. I think that might be what's going on there. Why don't we get one more thing? Clarify lightning. Yes. Yeah. Engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. There we go. So the shocking realization is that somebody is actually very kind, either devoted to you or at the very least has good intentions and is worthy of commitment if that's something you both want. So yeah, I think that very much verifies with that coming out on top of good person here. Whatever fears from what you've been through in the past, there's an epiphany coming in that you can actually believe in good things happening for you. You know, you don't have to relive a past narrative. A message for you is on the back. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. I did shuffle these before, and I opened up to trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it'll automatically transform. How did I do this before? Okay, there we go. We had this sideways. And then I will do that one more time. Oh my goodness. Ugh. These are so weird to shuffle. Come on. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So, oh my goodness gracious, these are so hard to shuffle. What the heck? Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take that. Romance, Cupid, arrow, strike. Okay. What advice do we have? Sacred union to help get through some of these triggers. I feel like that wants to come out and that wants to come out. Maybe that one. That's a lot more advice than I was looking for, a spirit. Okay, I will come back to that in a second. Romance, I mean, that's pretty clear with some of the feelings going on. Like if you're worrying, oh, they don't feel the same, maybe they do. Sacred union, honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. And regardless of what type of relationship, how long you've been with your person, I think the advice here is, if you want to avoid bad things repeating itself, don't treat the person you're with now like they've already done what people have done to you in the past. This is a different person. Honor and treasure the relationship you have and see what happens before jumping to conclusions. Imagine all unwanted thoughts. Yeah, this is again about thoughts. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for opportunities and possibilities for your life. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Guilt's interesting. So like maybe you were the person who backstabbed somebody in the past. No judgment here. I do think it's probably better not to do that. But if you've changed as a person, over a period of years or whatever, don't make decisions based on guilt. Who are you now? Focus on that. Cultivate the person you're becoming and treat this relationship with honor and respect, right? And if you're worried, maybe guilt isn't so much the word. I think for most people, it's not really guilt so much as fear. Don't make your decisions based on fear or what you think you should do based on past experiences you've been through. And just be true to yourself and true to others. Be true to this relationship and honor and treasure it. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. Exactly. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. That can be hard advice to hear for somebody who has trusted their heart in the past and somebody else broke it. But, you know, don't let yourself get wrapped into what is like a superficial infatuation. You know, really give yourself the time to see if this person's heart resonates with yours, if you have some values that align, or just how they make you feel in terms of how they treat you. What is it that makes you really love them? Not necessarily want their body alone or enjoying them for fun, but what makes you think, wow, this is somebody I could truly spend however much time, for a lot of people, maybe the rest of your life with, if that's not what you're looking for right now. Just somebody who I could see continuing to cultivate this relationship and seeing where it goes, if that's where you are in your relationship. Some people I do see, and I know that there are some married people who watch some of my videos, so for you it could just be, what is it that makes me wake up every day and continue to keep choosing this person that I'm already committed to? What makes me keep trusting them? What makes me put down my own ego and my own fears? If you could do anything, what would it be? If you've already chosen somebody, well, there you go. Of course, if they're continuing to treat you right and not in an abusive way. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Right, so if you've been through this heartbreak before, maybe there was some kind of lesson that was learned about how to, and that can be really hard to hear, because it's like not every single horrible thing that happens is a lesson. Sometimes, pardon my French, but crap just happens, and you gotta heal through it anyway, for your own sake. But I think the message here is, you know, if you've been through something difficult, try to take whatever positivity you can about yourself from that situation. Maybe not the situation itself being positive, but maybe I had the resiliency to get through that. Now I know what I value in a relationship. What positivity can you get from that you can bring into something that you're experiencing right now, and say, okay, and this, what I value now based on that experience, I'm going to bring the good into this connection. So I think that's everything for the love portion of this reading. Let's just get into the Moonology to wrap things up. Okay. So what is going on for this full moon in Leo and Venus conjunct Mars energy we have going on here? I think that wants to come out. Show the world the real you. Yeah, we saw mask a whole bunch of times. Full moon in Aquarius. So we're in the sun in Aquarius right now. So yeah, that's really getting out of the hot-headedness and agitation, fears, that fiery, fire in the gut, fears kind of thing going on with the Devil card, and really kind of looking at things from a more cool-headed perspective, but still engaging with the water, right? We have the water bear, the water in your heart. Hold space for those feelings without letting them cause you to become anxious. And then use that to allow yourself to be more authentic, right? You don't have to hide behind a mask if you're not afraid. Maybe you have a good reason with the one with the eyes in it, this one, to be worried about some things, but use your rationality to decide, okay, what do I actually have to be afraid of and what not? And maybe fear isn't what do I have to be afraid of, but what I have to be maybe cautious of. And what maybe can you try to trust a bit more and be more authentic? The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn, and we have Venus and Mars in Capricorn, so that balancing of masculine and feminine energies going on. Again, Capricorn is part goat, part water creature. You see the fin there, so this is bringing that stability to the emotions, which might help that tough cycle to end. Is that everything wanting to come out? Should we just go ahead and pull the back of the deck? A personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. Yeah, I'm seeing that as like really just mastery of the heart, right? The moon rules Cancer, so you're, and it's opposite Capricorn, so you're not too focused on the mind, and you're engaging with the feelings, being wholehearted in what you're bringing to the table. So that's really nice, actually. I like that. It's you know, that stability, even-headedness, but wholeheartedness at the same time. And I'm just seeing a lot of positivity coming out, being able to be yourself, and a tough cycle ends, and a personal issue reaches resolution. This one's kind of like jutting out a bit. Don't let your past hold you back, right? I think, I mean, that's your reading, guys. Everything resonated and kind of jived really well together, and I like that. And I'm really wishing you a loving, beautiful, wonderful Valentine's Day, Lupercalia, and full moon in Leo. You guys have a great rest of your next couple of days.